Hey guys, welcome to the channel, welcome to another video. It's that time of the week again, it's Premier League predictions time. Another round of exciting and intriguing Premier League encounters are almost upon us for this weekend. And of course, this is the video where I give my talk, analysis and predictions on how I think each and every single game will turn out. This weekend could have some pretty big significance for the Premier League. We could be seeing the Premier League title officially be wrapped up and given to Liverpool, or we could be seeing the Premier League relegation battle be done and dusted for this season. This really could have some big significance. I know that obviously those scenarios are seemingly done and dusted in a lot of people's eyes, and it's seemingly inevitable what is going to happen in terms of Liverpool winning the title, and of course who's going to be going back down to the Championship. But of course, it's not over till it's over, that kind of thing. So we have to get it mathematically confirmed and made official. We're going to be talking about the games. We're going to be giving my predictions. But before we go any further and discussing all of that and much more, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you are new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And of course, I encourage you all to get involved in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, that I'm sure will make for great and interesting reading. Of course, this is a Premier League predictions video, people, so do get your predictions in down below. And without further ado, we will get on with the video. We'll get on to the conversation. And we're going to start with Brentford versus Brighton, 3 PM Saturday. Looking forward to this one. Two decent teams. Two teams that battle hard. Two teams that are a thorn in the side of anybody on their day, but they're both very good footballing sides at the end of the day. I'm expecting a very entertaining game between these two sides, one that's very open, one that obviously hopefully should provide a lot of goals as well. Brighton still could potentially get some form of European football, mainly Europa Conference League, I believe, depending on how the spots work out and how many spots England are going to get in that competition. I know they are 6 points away from the top 7, top 8. So it's not looking as good as what it did a few weeks ago, but it still could remain a possibility for the Seagulls to get some form of European football for next season. For Brentford, they are a little bit further away than Brighton. It's proper mid-table clash, this. Look, on any given day, anyone can beat anyone in this scenario. Brentford certainly have the capabilities of beating Brighton, especially if Brighton aren't exactly locked in defensively. And Brighton obviously have the players and capabilities of beating a Brentford. Either way, I'm anticipating a very entertaining game. I'm going 2-2. I'm going to say the points are going to be shared come the final whistle. Next up, Crystal Palace taking on Bournemouth, and I've gone with a 2-1 win to Bournemouth. Bournemouth obviously got back to winning ways recently. Palace will still be licking their wounds from that hammering that they received at the expense of Manchester City. Now, here's the thing with Palace. They have a FA Cup semi-final on the horizon. Do they maybe rest some players? Maybe rotate? Try and get some momentum in the legs of those players? They're safe and sound. There's no jeopardy in this game. So maybe they do, and maybe that could be Bournemouth's advantage to maybe winning this game. Again, Bournemouth similarly to Brighton. Same level of points. They are in 8th, 6 points away from 7th. Europa Conference League football could still be a possibility for them, but this could be a big opportunity to get 3 points for Bournemouth, who got back to winning ways on Monday with a 1-0 win over Fulham, of course. Big game for Bournemouth. An interesting game to see how Palace approach this one. They are, of course, a decent side in 2025, are Palace. So, again, it's going to be interesting to see how they take this one. I'm still going with a Bournemouth win, though. Still going with a Bournemouth win. I think they have the capabilities, and I think Palace will rotate, and they probably will have one eye on that FA Cup semi-final. Next up, Everton, Manchester City. I'm going 1-1. Everton, we know, can be an awkward side, a difficult side for anybody. And even the bigger teams find that they are a struggle sometimes. I know that Manchester City, currently in 5th, want to obviously take a stranglehold on a Champions League spot for next season. Could be a big win if they were to get a win in this one. But I just think, as much as obviously City will probably go into this one as the favourites, As much as City will probably take big amount of confidence from last week's hammering that they gave Crystal Palace, and especially from being 2-0 down as well, I just think Everton are a bit more defensively secure at times, especially in these types of games, and Sean Dyche will get them riled up for this one. Even though there is no real need for Everton to overexert themselves and stretch themselves, they are safe and sound. There is no jeopardy here. There is no real call for them to actually do anything in this game, really, because, let's face it, unless they just want to see how far and how high they want to push up the table in what remains of the season, that's all they've really got to play for. I'm going 1-1, but I'm not entirely confident, and I think Man City could take all 3 points. And if they do, it's a massive 3 points as they try and secure Champions League football. West Ham against already relegated Southampton. I've gone with a 2-1 win to West Ham. West Ham will take a lot of confidence from their second half performance, I'm sure, against Liverpool last week. They fought hard, got an equaliser, but then ended up losing it in the final stages of the game. They're coming up against the Southampton side who, throwing caution to the wind right now, they just want to beat that points tally of Derby counties. That's the only thing that they have to play for to properly avoid genuine, legitimate, long-lasting humiliation for being the lowest points accumulated team in a single Premier League season. I'm going with West Ham to win. I'm going to say 2-1. It could be more than that, to be fair, because, you know, the Southampton side, with all due respect, are not that good. But I'm going 2-1. I think West Ham will get the job done. And, of course, it could be massive as well, because if West Ham do win, and I think if Wolves do win as well, and Leicester and Ipswich don't, that means that Leicester and Ipswich have confirmed their places alongside Southampton as being the 3 relegated teams to yo-yo back down to the Championship for the next campaign. More on that later. Next up, what a game we have at Villa Park. What an absolute cracking game this could be at Villa Park. 2 informed teams in the Premier League right now. Aston Villa taking on Newcastle at Villa Park. And I, for one, am going for a Newcastle victory. I think Newcastle are going to win this game by 3-1. I think that Newcastle will come into this game in insane form. They are dispatching teams left, right and centre. They've had a massive week with obviously putting 4 past Manchester United. They put 5 past Crystal Palace on Wednesday night, of course. It's a massive, massive week for Newcastle, and it could be a massive game for them as well, because they've climbed to 3rd over the course of this week. A win here could see them go a point behind Arsenal, and depending on how Arsenal do in their game, it could mean that Newcastle could be pushing for that 2nd place spot. And of course, it also means that they will get an even bigger stranglehold on the top 5, where of course they will be playing Champions League football for next season, should they of course obtain a position within that top 5 spot. Like I say, the form of Newcastle right now is sparkling. They have got a solid midfield that is purring right now. They've got an attack which is not just relying on the likes of Alexander Isak. They've got Jacob Murphy chipping in with goals and assists. They've got Harvey Barnes, who has really came to the party these past couple of games. Like, they are insane right now. They are absolutely insane. And even though Villa themselves are no slouches and are doing really well themselves, I just think maybe the over-exuberance of that game they played against PSG in midweek in the Champions League, the level of intensity in that one may have just drained the players a little bit, considering that they did try and perform an incredible comeback, which ultimately didn't quite get there, but they still gave a good account of themselves. But I'm still going for Newcastle to get the job done in this one. The Magpies to win by 3-1 and earn a massive 3 points in their quest to play Champions League football for next season. Next up, Sunday's games. First up, we will have action from Craven Cottage, where there's a London derby of sorts between Fulham and Chelsea that's set to play out. I've gone 1-1. Chelsea are not convincing me at all right now. Fulham are a thorn in the side of the majority of big clubs. We know this. We've seen this. They've taken points off of Liverpool and Arsenal this season. They've even beaten 4th place Nottingham Forest, if you want to go that far. It's a massive game, this. It's a massive game for Chelsea. They need to steady themselves. They need to get back into the top 5. Of course, a win here could be massive in terms of going level on points with Nottingham Forest, depending on how they do, of course, on Monday night. But for Chelsea, Champions League football is a must. It is a must. And right now, they are on the verge of slipping out of that top 5 race. It's going to be a massive game. It's going to be a big game. They need their big players like their Cole Palmers, like their Nicholas Jacksons to step up to the occasion. They need their defence to be solid. They need their goalkeeper to actually concentrate throughout the course of a 90-minute game, because Fulham is no easy task. And Fulham have already beaten Chelsea this season, remember. So that is going to be a massive game in prospect. I'm going 1-1. I think Fulham can take more points off of Chelsea. But in all honesty, this could be anything, especially with the way that obviously Chelsea went 2 goals down against Ipswich last weekend. Next up, we're moving on to Ipswich, actually, who are going to be facing Arsenal at home, as I mentioned earlier. Massive game for these two. If Arsenal lose and Liverpool win, the Premier League title is wrapped up. Even though it seems inevitable, it now then becomes mathematically impossible for Arsenal to catch them up if that scenario plays out. If Arsenal win and Wolves win and West Ham win, then Ipswich are going back down to the Championship for next season. That will be done, dusted and official. So I'm going with a 3-1 win to Arsenal. Now, I think there will be some rotation, especially given the fact that those players have just come out of a massive mental battle at the Bernabeu on Wednesday night to win and go through to the semi-final of the Champions League. I think they may have also Champions League on their minds, so rotation will probably be key. They probably will also throw away the Premier League. They are obviously going to probably be staying in the Champions League places for next season. The Premier League title race seems inevitably going to Liverpool, so they may actually just throw away these games and just use them as kind of just keeping things ticking over in the legs of those players and obviously giving some momentum to those Arsenal players. So it's going to be an interesting time to see how Arsenal approach these final few games in the Premier League, especially with Champions League being on the horizon as well. It could play in Ipswich's favour. They could keep their survival bid open for at least another week, but obviously they are facing a losing battle. It seems inevitable that they are going to be going back down to the Championship. I just think Arsenal will speed the process along by winning in this one. So I'm going 3-1 to Arsenal. I think the rotation and strength and depth will help Arsenal to win this one. I'm going 3-1 to Mikel Arteta's side. Next up, Manchester United taking on Wolverhampton Wanderers, and as you can see, I've gone with a 2-1 win to Wolves. Now, Wolves are actually not in bad form. They're not in bad form at all. They're actually playing pretty well under their new manager, and they really, in recent weeks, rose to the occasion to obviously put some distance between themselves and that relegation zone. And fair play to them. Fair play to them for doing that. Now, in terms of this game, we know that Wolves have already beaten Manchester United earlier on in the campaign. We also know that Manchester United right now are not exactly firing on all cylinders. They may also have Europa League still. This is being recorded before Thursday night. They may have Europa League still on their minds, and that could obviously be a saving grace for their season. So if they are still in the Europa League, we could be expected to see maybe a much rotated Manchester United squad, one that is focusing on the Europa League, and that could obviously, like I say, play into Wolves' hands. And it could be a big win for Wolves as well, in terms of them climbing up the table and not being considered the 4th worst team in the Premier League for this season. So there's a lot riding on this. There is quite a fair bit riding on this in terms of Manchester United and maybe having one eye on the Europa League, and in terms of Wolves, maybe relegating and helping to relegate two other teams that are below them, and of course maybe trying to push up the table themselves and maybe drag Tottenham down even lower. But no, big game. One that I am going to back Wolves to win. It could be a draw, and hell, Man United with the individual quality that they have could obviously go on and win it. But I have a sneaky feeling Wolves this weekend are going to perform something and get the win. Next up, we're moving on. We're going to jump ahead to Monday night's game. Monday night, we'll see Tottenham take on Nottingham Forest at home. And it's going to be a very interesting game again, because I don't know what to expect from Tottenham. I know exactly what to expect from Forest. And again, maybe there will be a bit of a rotated side from Forest, which could play into the favour of Tottenham, given the fact that the FA Cup semi-finals on the horizon for Nuno Espirito Santo's side. Maybe they need some rotation anyway, given the fact that they're coming into this game off the back of back-to-back losses in the Premier League. So there could be some interesting factors for Forest to consider there. But for Tottenham, will Ange Postecoglou still be in charge of the club come Monday night? Because again, we're filming this before the Europa League games on Thursday. If they were to get knocked out by Frankfurt, could that be the final nail in the coffin for Big Ange? It's going to be a very interesting scenario, whatever plays out. It's going to be very interesting to see who's in the dugout on Monday night. It's going to be interesting to see if, obviously, Tottenham can get past Frankfurt tonight, at the time of recording, of course. It's going to be a very interesting battle, this one. It's one that I expect Forest to win, because I'm going off it off face value right now, and I'm anticipating that Forest will sit deep, because Tottenham struggle to break low blocks. They'll sit deep. They'll invite the pressure on. They'll basically challenge Tottenham to try and break them down and to score goals. And then on the counter-attack, they will hurt Tottenham, because everybody does. Everybody on that counter-attack hurts Tottenham. If Forest try and play any other way, they probably won't win the game or win it as comfortably as what I'm going for here. I'm anticipating Forest to get the job done and win by 2-0. And finally, what I believe to be the biggest game of this round of fixtures, the main event of this Premier League weekend. We're at the King Power Stadium for Leicester City taking on Liverpool in a game that could potentially see Leicester get relegated officially if Liverpool are to win. And of course, depending on the Arsenal result earlier on in that same day, if Liverpool are to win, they could officially wrap up the Premier League title this very weekend. Now, of course, given my predictions earlier, I don't expect that to happen, because I think Arsenal will win and we will drag it out for at least another week. However, in saying that, this Leicester side are poor. This Leicester side have only got like one win in their last many. I can't even remember how many it is. It's that long, but one win in their last many a game. They barely score. They concede chances. They concede goals. And I think this is a wonderful opportunity, not just for Liverpool to win the game and not just for Liverpool to take 3 big points closer to official Premier League glory, but of course, for a certain Mohamed Salah. For a certain Mohamed Salah to potentially get a couple more assists, get a couple more goals to strengthen his position as the top goal scorer. And like I say, assists to obviously help him to try and break Thierry Henry's goal scoring and goal contributions record over the course of a single Premier League season. It could be a very big afternoon for Liverpool. It could be a very big afternoon for Mo Salah especially as well. It's one that I'm expecting Liverpool. If we were to lose this, of course, it doesn't necessarily mean a great deal in terms of the Premier League title race, because we still should be going on to win it regardless. But this is a big opportunity to wrap it up sooner rather than later. And if we were to lose this, then I'd still be annoyed. I'd still be frustrated, because this is against this Leicester side, who under Ruud van Nistelrooy are so poor. So poor. So I'm hoping that Liverpool are professional and they get the job done. 3-0 Liverpool, Mo Salah to be amongst the goal contributions on that afternoon. And there you have it. Those are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of anything and everything that I talked about in this video in regards to my predictions, talk, analysis on this upcoming weekend's round of Premier League action? Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling. And of course, give me your predictions down below in that comment section. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way up if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening, and thank you all for your brand new or continued support to the channel. Whichever one it is, it means a great deal to me. Your support is absolutely wonderful, so thank you all so much. You guys really does mean a lot to me. Will always be appreciated and never taken for granted. You guys are absolutely awesome, so thank you, thank you, thank you. I've been Fletch. This has been another Premier League predictions video, and I'll see you speak to you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Speak to you all again very, very soon.